Okay, commissioners, your meeting is live.
Hey, welcome to the October 20th meeting with Broward County Commission. Please stand and join
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
public comments.
Well, we don't have much on the business agenda. I've got a lot to catch up with. Get to it here. Yes, already back on Thursday, the 9th. I've got some averages here with me too. We had a meeting, the October meeting of the Veterans and Military Services Committee. Our chair, Sid Conklin, had some remarks and some opening welcomes. Of course, he's commissioner from Randolph County of Missouri. Kyle Imhoff, Deputy Executive Director of Veteran Crisis Services from the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. Discussed federal agency updates on combating veteran suicide. And then we heard from Madison Moore. She's the Vice President of Special Projects for the Elizabeth Dole Foundation. Discussed community partner updates and the Hidden Heroes community update as well. Had an open discussion on a legislative update with several members of NACO. Additional items of discussion, including the upcoming Operation Greenlight, and to close out that meeting. As I think everybody's aware, Friday the 10th marked the official opening of the Bilberry Family Arena out at K-State Edge District. New state-of-the-art facility that will host events, rodeos, and other agriculture and educational events. So congratulations on that. It's been obviously years in the making and planning, and obviously construction. On that Friday afternoon as well, I met with a concerned group of citizens who will discuss some areas of concern, including impacts of the current government shutdown, cost of living in the area, Raleigh County's high rate of poverty, and several other topics related to that subject as well. Certainly was an interesting dialogue, but a conversation that was certainly worth having, and obviously those concerns do have legitimacy. Saturday afternoon, I watched K-State get a much needed win against TCU, 41-28, a game that obviously wasn't as close as it may appear. The following Sunday morning, took the early bird flight out of Manhattan to Washington, D.C. to attend the 2025 Association of the United States Army Conference. Got all the credentials and materials, and got settled in for the event. Next Monday morning was day one of the conference at the Walker Washington Convention Center in DC. Attended the opening ceremony, heard from the current USA President, retired General Robert Brown, as well as the new Secretary of Army, Dan Driscoll. Gave a very impassioned speech, to say the least, laced with quite a bit of profanity. Stuck around for the individual chapter award presentations. I was kind of get a kick out of those. The Monday afternoon, we had our chapter luncheon at Clyde's Gallery Palace, which we heard from chapter president Rich Jankovich, as well as AUSA Region 5 President Brent Cox. We also heard from and was introduced to our Army 10 miler team. We actually had an Army 10 miler team this year, and they took 4th place in the overall event this year. We always lose out to the team from Fort Carson, but when you're a mile high up there, it's you can train for this sort of thing. So until next year, train with them, I think you might have a better chance. Also that last Monday afternoon, met with Steve Hayek and his team from Baker Donaldson on all its working in terms of defense on Capitol Hill, its impact of Fort Riley in the state of Kansas. Very interesting times in our nation's capital, indeed, with the shutdown. Tuesday morning, contingency from the Flint Hills area traveled up to Capitol Hill to meet with current available military staff from Senator Moran, Marshall's office, as well as Representative Schmidt, to discuss our federal priorities and concerns, to get feedback as to how we can move forward with these challenges and projects that really do need to be addressed. Tuesday evening, we had our annual chapter social once again at Clyde's Gallery Palace. A lot different this year without the president members from the Big Red One and just the soldiers in general. But did have a good time despite that fact. United States Senator Jared Moran did join us for the event as well. Tuesday evening, I actually got to check an item off my bucket list. attended my first NHL game. At Capital One Center, the home team Capitals beat Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2 and overtime. Got to see that new overtime thing where they do the 3-on-3. It's pretty cool. Just a cool environment, just in general. Always wanted to check that out. I was hoping my first game would be in Denver with the Avalanche, but had the opportunity there. Tickets were like $14 or something, so it's like you just can't pass that up. Beer was more expensive than the ticket. I'm gonna pass that up. So anyway, Wednesday, jumped back on a plane, headed home, arrived in Manhattan early afternoon. Also during that time, I want to give a shout out to James and Derek in the IT department. I had a very stubborn issue with my email and Outlook and took the time to step me through, get it corrected while I was in DC so I could somewhat keep track of things. Of course, these things never seem to happen when Apple, we were on the East Coast somewhere. And so anyway, made communication and correspondence on that trip just a little bit better. Thursday, I traveled to Kansas City for the Manhattan Area Chamber of Commerce. They were a board retreat. Started with an opening session by Jason Smith, President and CEO. He discussed the state of the chamber, the organization's redesign, and the growth design updates. Followed with a bunch of updates from the various chamber committees. Danielle Doolin and Jason Hildress from the city of Manhattan gave a presentation on the East Manhattan Gateway Study. I think they'll be presenting that tomorrow night to the city commission as a whole too, if you want to check that out. Followed by a discussion on priorities for 2026, which came with a facilitated groups discussion. Want to go with that. Lastly, we ended with the group from the city of Lenexa who discussed Lenexa City Center multi-use development that they've been working on for many decades now within the community. Friday morning, I stayed for the board retreat and heard from Doug Coleman, who's a national consultant. He was working with the chamber currently and is discussing trends from across the country and how to work on updated membership strategies. And after that presentation, I headed back home. For the rest of the weekend, I just stayed at home catching up on various things, including correspondence and just getting everything ready and updated for this upcoming week. Glad fall's here finally. Nice yesterday morning to wake up to 39 degrees, left the windows open and everything, it's nice, yeah. So hopefully that continues, and that's all I got.
I don't have much. Yeah, it's busy. Thursday after our meeting, I met with Jacob Hansen and Amanda Webb to go over the outstanding easements here for the sewer project. Certified letters were sent to all property owners with an October 10th deadline for returning paperwork. I think I wrote this down, right? There are still 17 temporary and 4 permanent easements needed. And Jacob and I are planning to go out and keys this evening and Thursday evening to meet with some of the owners directly. So we catch people at home and get those easements. Friday, I had an appointment downtown and then stopped in to see our offices in the building. It's amazing. All of our offices, everything's looking really good. County Council's office is the last of the window installations, I think. And they've moved to temporary offices and former apartments. Space. Good thing we have that space, that was stench up there. After that, I stopped with the GIS office and requested some maps of the Keats Sewer Taxing District, with those property owners on, so we'll be using those. I also picked up today's law board packet at the RCPD offices today's meeting. Saturday, caught up on some household chores, and then in the afternoon, I went down to the King's Net and looked at the city park. There was a very large peaceful crowd, and about 700 people. Sunday, my bell choir played in church, and went to lunch with a friend down in Danville. Later in the afternoon, we reviewed the agenda after today's meeting. So we got a chance to take a nice long walk at Wildcat Park. There we go. Really a good day. That's all I have.
Right. And as the next few weeks will be packing and making move arrangements.
Good.
And then Sunday, Need our materials for this meeting and for the all board. So. That's all I've got.
That's it. Hey, commissioners, hey, typically we have no business items today, so any changes to the minutes?
I would make a motion to approve the minutes from October 16th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the October 16th meeting, all in favor?
Thank you, Commissioner. Then the agenda slip. Any items for next week's press conference? Not, we have a break. Bill Catherine Hensler at 9 o'clock. Big game coming up this weekend. Right.
Yeah, they look pretty scary to start the year, but they're pretty like about the same as us, I think. in their-
Yeah, that on defense.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I mean. How many times has should be posted with like a 1 point game, you know, you get the rivalry and the emotions into it and. They're gonna be amped up there, they're gonna do half completed stage with me.
At the public stadium.
What part is? I'm in second year season ticket holder. We took them over with my father-in-law. I was naive and I checked the box like, oh, I'm interested in tickets for the KU game. And I didn't realize I was buying tickets to the KU game, so I'm going, but.
Good,
Yeah, what part of it is unfinished? Is it the,
I do not know. how
It's the
this
east side.
oh, it's the east side, oh, it's so where the press box is, or
The other side.
the other side, oh.
Yeah.
They
So if
did,
you're facing, if you're like south facing hill, it's over here, so
my part, those signal K-State fans.
probably slightly.
Right.
Your argument, that's horrible, I think.
Of course not. But one of them tails off. You see hockey fight around?
We did,
Yeah.
we did, yeah. Of course, they copied the second guys, there were two,
We could get rid of.
power plays.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
and more punches thrown, or they just kind of,
I look like they just kind of edged around and knocked one of them knocked the helmet off, but yeah, close things down for a good 3-4 minutes
nice.
up against the boards there, yeah.
That way, go. See the last shots. Yeah. Yeah, I got straight some shit.
We Captain?
All of you.
Good, how are you?
I didn't quite win, you know, no matter the speech is from, honest true. We can't complain, that's what, yeah.
They can go to transfer stations that I did.
Jonathan. How much did you take the
Your
drugs?
your thing was on Saturday?
We didn't think,
Oh,
it's like, it's all the stuff we had to do flash.
Some-
Yeah, they did, but yeah,
That's twice a year. I mean, it's stuff that, you know,
Yeah, I wasn't able to get a receipt for the part.
Yeah, we signed it.
Okay, so the original ticket was missing, I got a Uber receipt, but, yep, I gotta figure out where my email got.
It was there, I was amazed. that they were-
Maybe get my regular computer for that.
Do you know how many?
That's good.
Yeah, Brian, Charles.
It's kind of nice to have someone to do that.
you know,
that area.
There was one here, yeah, the chance.
There were a bunch of people with them.
Well, go ahead.
Sorry.
Gotta get it. Or-
Funds for the seller, so.
Got my son is, what I thought was.
All the way around, like, go around and around.
Survival, it'd be lots of stairs or something. Get all that, I mean, against the wall, or you get 2x12 and run it from the ground, rather than seal up. That makes a nice walking surface, this is what we often did. Yeah.
On the way back. Any plan kids.
Really, yeah,
It's a sampling switch.
it was a good time. And there was.
Some last week.
They're close. I got a dash.
He wasn't online for about 13 years. I'm very good ways.
Yeah.
I think it's 10-15%.
Yeah, such a big scare was.
Yeah. Where's good at?
It's worse than anything.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's.
Son was, does something.
Purple.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
cool. Think that's.
Shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
She's on surgery sometime.
Yeah.
Well, use the solos.
That'd be nice.
It's interesting.
In your house, they work out the inside.
Just like it wasn't, it's easier than other times, more than a house, less than a house in the shop. So that's house boards.
Yeah, and
13.
And there were so many things going on. There was chili, Yankeeville, and
So.
Run, Alzheimer's, and just all.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it. It does make a effort to go and say, it's not real. Just-
There's so many things.
One of the things upstairs.
Need to try to get a hold of.
Better size for an office, huh?
Well, that, now that.
I'm gonna be kidding.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they. When that stereo sheet. And the back wall, they stay purple, and the others, the left red, always red.
Nice.
That's sure.
Accent wall,
Yeah,
they call
when they had those, it's really faded.
them. Been a popular thing for about 10 years or so.
Okay. Both owners. Room down at the bottom of the stairs. That. Guess we're gonna call it the rec room or something, it's a. Kind of odd shape, it's a little bigger than just a bedroom, but. We call it the orange room. And it was painted. He said it was two colors, two walls. There were two different shades of bright orange.
No, really?
Took a few coats of paint.
Oh, that's good.
But I got that done.
What do you get in the morning?
Yeah. But it probably looks at from our house and from this one. Cause the shop they had was finished off, had a acoustical ceiling, a closet, the corner where I'm gonna put my. But I didn't need, so I was tearing all that out, putting all that to haul on.
The garage.
Yeah. Oh, plus a concrete pad next to it. Place to park. No, yeah, the pickup does look good.
Okay.
And I'm guessing one of. The way we.
Yeah.
All it has, one car garage for a while.
Get it off for sure. You get everything all done.
In there, cause there's no. Out, yard building, garden shed, you don't have to build one of those, this.
Those are handy.
To get all, but all that stuff's gonna have to go to the garage from the house, so.
That'd be nice, it's a nice area.
And it's a little smaller garage, but. Not safe, but I find it's over, that's 24 by 24. And this is, it's like 20 by 1, 2 or something, which. You can tell the difference.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Most, but I mean, a lot of them, they don't go smaller than that, you know, so,
Such a car doors with
yeah.
two vehicles in there.
Okay. Well, so it's garage, but. Made a pretty good job not cluttering with that, though, that's the one, but I'm gonna build it, how we, I don't know, we kept it.
That's with our two car garage, we use it for vehicles, of course, my baby don't right now, because we have kids storage stuff in it, but, you know, it's just us, we always use vehicles. That plenty of room.
But you drive through Benny, you address through everybody's park, perfect garage, it's simple, can't get in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just like I said, it hold up 500 pounds of stuff, it all accumulates so much stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, wow, right, it's good, but it's not valuable.
We got. So that stuff, we moved in there 19 years ago, we used to sit in our box, so. Well, we didn't go through it, there's a few things we got, we had to. General Gerber said, with your those long movies. They going about that. And she had some, from when she quit teaching, she brought us some. So.
That's why my wife thinks she wants to do an addition out of our house. So the two of us, we're getting 3,800 square feet. Very single, and she wants an office and. She wants her kitchen and dining room bigger, which I get, she goes a lot. Everyone's always, oh, how big is the town?
Yeah, perhaps now it's about 1,000 square feet, definitely out of it, then that other one, it's 1,000 square feet too. We got 3,000 out of it, 26, so it's getting. And so, oh, but it's a whole lot better arranged.
Yeah, just the modern layouts.
You know, I mean, everything, you know, our bedrooms and bathroom first. Yeah, well, there's a. Place we were, this is just kind of a lot of good sort of enjoy.
Yeah.
The garage is a detached, right now, we got a detached garage.
Here's this ranch style house now, right?
You walk out.
That's what ours is, that's why my wife always wanted a 2-story house, because we built it, because I did drywall. And I carried lots of drywall up and downstairs, I said, no, we're gonna live here forever, we're not gonna get any younger, so let's not do stairs. I think she's thankful now, that we, you know, some downstairs doesn't matter, but we don't go downstairs a lot. Of course, when the kids aren't there, you know, when someone's not living with us, you know, our movie in that room, you got a big family down there with our big restraint, you know. They're 60-inch TV, so. Why? But we have to choose that now for us.
He said, who's still with you?
Kayla and Logan, for recruiting, and then their son, Mr. Carl.
He looks like that is.
Yeah, Blake and Amber moved in, Ryland, they're all moved in, so. Yeah, that's great. That is good.
Yeah.
Just in time to, in February, they're expecting.
He lives there, he farms.
In our front. We have the 6.
I know this one was gonna be whatever.
She just turned 2, just last week.
That's it, Paul, but our two years.
Just turned 2, when her birthday was, our year all day last week, and we had 3 birthday party both sides of the family. Sad.
So yeah, I got 6 in 2.5 years.
Oh, yeah.
All right, first one, folks, you know, I had to spread it out, then there's 4 of them. Because I had 3 of them. But third and fourth one, I was saying, just, did about 4 years and that's 5. No, 7, because with the 5, say, the third 4 years, I'm 7. Just two one time, and all of a sudden.
All ours initially said they wanna have that, but I said, we'll see, that's what they've been doing, but. Yeah, the two of them are gonna be up to two. Or it might be another week for him to get done with his college classes. Get on to his next career, but you know,
Yeah. Russia school. This weekend. How does this lay out? She was doing well, I said, shit. Then. Three, maybe. A small one, she was. She's gonna be, they're gonna be busy in that. Yeah. Because that little one was running. Yeah. So I know, she said, yeah, she's. Let's see. But. He's gonna be. The floor.
yeah, we took the three oldest ones on a little. UTV drive down the road yesterday, grandma likes doing that, the two oldest I took on the four wheeler, just they were one at a time, they just love that. So,
Dan's first. So then, I was gonna say first. He had the golf cart.
Yeah.
Think about.
Yeah.
You know, the golf cart. You know, we get open that, but. Started dropping.
and we bought one of those UTVs and, Darnell always got one, and, you know, just figure I get home late, you can get one of those things, won't walk and do things like I do. Anyway, we got it here, a couple months ago. She's driven it harder than me by far, and, she was in the, me, our, like it, and I said, Grandma, we look like it. She went, not it, she says, I do, she goes,
Yeah. Maybe my life, maybe.
Water, still two, Monday night games tonight, isn't there? Yes, Seattle, Tampa Bay. It's something that.
Thank you. Ooh, it's kind of cool, but I think lots of lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. Didn't turn on Chiefs meet until the start of the second half. It's like, oh, it wasn't even care. To do, stop and that ball back. Yeah, right back. Okay, we turned it on. Okay, this is like not a game. No, that was a massive game.
The Raiders offense must be really bad, who's their quarterback?
Geno Smith. He leads the league in interceptions with like 10. I think he's thrown more interceptions to other teams than he's thrown to his wide receivers.
Sounds like he's accurate, but
Depends on the intent. Completion percentage, I got, you said,
there's never a drop.
Yeah, Bucks, Lions, and Texans.
Team or the other always gets the
Texans.
I think I can just click on this, right? On the report,
Uh,
or
maybe so, I just always scroll down, so.
okay, still works that way then. Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't breaking anything.
Yeah. Vivian, can you just click on the side there and go to those items? That works,
You should be able to.
okay,
And then we'll pull up the documents.
Okay,
Does that work?
yes, and it doesn't take away anyone's
Yeah.
ability to see the screen. Okay,
thanks, Viv.
Good morning, Catherine Hensler, Director of the Riley County Historical Museum, with our monthly staff report. So starting with visitation and tours, September was a lower attendance month, which is kind of traditional. People are getting back to school and getting back into the groove after summer vacation. So our numbers are a little bit lower than average. The museum saw 167 visitors, Goodnoe House 50, the Wolf House 15, Pioneer Log Cabin 34, and then our programs and outreach brought in 138 individuals. Volunteer hours, higher than normal, which is great. We had 144 hours between our general volunteers and our interns. And then the Historical Society's Board of Directors has been very busy this month, getting in about 122 and a half hours, and no community service this month. Again, 270 hours is great for our volunteerism. We generally have about 40 to 45 active volunteers. We have been blessed with 3 additional new volunteers just in the last month. So we're working on training them. Right now, our greatest need at the museum are people who can help with docent work and giving tours. So they are absolutely being trained for that, but amongst other things, helping with field trips and special events. Also research. We have a great team of research volunteers. So the month of September, we had fewer programs than normal. September 4th, we presented along with the Flint Hills Discovery Center running in borrowed shoes, the Thane Baker story. 50 people attended that. We had our regular fireside chat. We went off-site. Normally we're at Flight Crew Coffee. This past month, we were over at 1880 Beef. And the reason that we selected that location, not only is the owner on our Historical Society board, but that building is the original Manhattan Women's Club building. So it was neat to be able to present about the club and the architecture inside the actual building. So we had a great turnout for that. 39 people showed up, which was about all that building could manage. But again, just great turnout and a fun evening. We also hosted Kansas Music History with Derek Doty on September 21st. That was held at the Manhattan Public Library. And that's a program with Humanities Kansas. That is a grant-funded program. And we were able to make it free of any kind of admission, open to the public, and a stipend for the speaker came through a grant through Humanities Kansas. All those grants, excuse me, are run through our Historical Society as a private nonprofit organization. September 23rd, I attended a history job and professionalism workshop that was hosted with the K-State History Department. It was basically to give the students, both undergrad and graduate students, an idea of what kind of careers are available in public history. And then we also went through just kind of an interview workshop where we provided feedback on how to interview, what kind of questions to be prepared to answer, and just certain professional key points on presentations. September 25th, the Board of Directors went out for a Zinedale history field trip. And the reason we did that is early in 2024, the Society provided a grant to an Eagle Scout who was putting up a historical exhibit, a kiosk over at the Zinedale Community Center. And so that's since been built, and we were invited to go out and take a look at the project that was funded through the Society. Collections, in the month of September, we had 6 incoming donations. And just as a reminder, when we say incoming donations, we mean donor. So that donor, there were 6 individual donors. And within those 6 individual donations, 71 objects came in. We were not able to process any backlogs, and we were not able to deaccession any. I will warn and give you a heads up. There's a huge grouping of deaccessions coming through probably in the next 2 months. It's going to be in the realm of a couple thousand objects. Those are going to be the books that we've been deaccessioning and removing from the library. And we've been talking about this pretty much since March. These books are not collection. I should say they do not meet the collections criteria of the museum. And so that's why we're getting rid of them. And when I say get rid of them, I don't mean throw them out. We're transferring them to other organizations and institutions who could use them. But a lot of the books are just old, they're neat, they're cool, but they just don't have anything to do with Riley County history. So probably within the next 2 or 3 months, you're going to see those numbers raise substantially. Within the Archives and Library Department, our curator, Carly Ferens, has continued cleaning out the library space as well as the archives. And she has been blessed with a wonderful intern this semester, Robin Imbo, who has been assisting with that project. So we've handled 4 external research requests in September, 1 internal request, and 6 in-person appointments, with a number of 11 transactions out of that department in September. With building and grounds, we have been very busy cleaning out the temporary storage space at the museum, which I know all of you have toured. It was a mess. I will say it's still a mess, but it's more of an organized mess at this point. We have been able to order a number of rolling shelves through the Historical Society's funding, and we're slowly cleaning out that space. So I do welcome you. You're most welcome to swing by anytime and take a look at that space. It's definitely cleaner than it was a year ago, but we do have a long ways to go. We're also at the same time cleaning out the Historical Society's property, the Wolf Studio, that's down on the Wolf House complex. Both interior and exterior, the society is looking at doing an exterior restoration project on that building. However, in order to accommodate the contractors, we do have to make sure there's some space inside where they can get around. So we are when I say we, I mean mainly our curatorial team and our interns. We're spending a lot of time back and forth between those 2 facilities, just cleaning. With staffing, we are currently accepting applications for spring 2026 interns. Fortunately, we've been blessed with some excellent interns this year. We currently have 3, 2 are K-State students and 1 is independent. And we currently have 2 available for the spring. So I do encourage anyone with an interest in professional career in history, museums, public history, preservation, collections management, archives and library sciences to reach out. We do not pay. However, we do offer credit hours. So if anyone's interested, they can just reach out to the museum or they can go to the Historical Society's website. We have a little tab for Work for Us, and there's information about internships there. Interns do come through the county, so they are run through HR. They have to apply just like any other staff person, and then they follow the same background screenings as any other county staff. And they are managed specifically by me and my team. They are not managed by the Historical Society. So moving on to Historical Society activity, the board has returned from their summer recess and started their regular monthly board meetings on September 10th. They are open to the public, so if anyone is ever interested in attending, they run the 2nd Wednesday of each month. 5 o'clock is social time, and then 5:15 is call to order. We do move to different locations simply because we do not have the classroom or meeting space at the museum, but we're generally at the public library. We do put notices out to the public when those are occurring and where. The individual who was serving as the society administrator no longer works for the organization as of the 12th of September. The board is planning on filling that position, and they will actually meet tomorrow afternoon for their first committee to determine whether or not they want to change that job description, and then that will be made public. It is a professional position. It is salaried. It is strictly a Historical Society though, so it's not funded by the county. They do work closely with county staff people at the museum, however. And the society has announced the date for their annual meeting, which will be held on November 18th at 6 p.m. at the Manhattan Public Library. While we call this a membership meeting, it is open to the public and there is no admission to attend. So this meeting will kick off the annual membership campaign for the society, and it will also present the slate of directors for the upcoming year. Members have voting rights. If the public shows up, they are welcome to observe, but they of course cannot vote. We will also be having a presentation that evening on Y2K, titled Y2K Ringing in Doomsday or the New Year, because believe it or not, Y2K is now history. And so our curative education and design, Melanie Highsmith, will be presenting that program that evening. I will note that society membership rates are going to go up slightly in 2026. They're really just going up to kind of meet the average of other membership institutions, cultural institutions in our community. And also, you probably remember, you've seen those membership forms. They are a little confusing. The benefits and the levels are somewhat vague. So the society is working to clarify those. They will be presented at the annual meeting for the membership. However, they will not come into effect until January 1st. And the society's memberships run from January 1st until December 31st. They will be offering discounts this year, which is something they've never offered before. And those will be for seniors, veterans, and students. And then just some upcoming events. We did have our 4th annual walking tour of Historic Sunset Cemetery on Saturday. We had beautiful weather, great program, good turnout. It wasn't as high as we normally get. However, we were very pleased with the program. There is a new program that Arrow Cocktail Lounge is doing. It's called Drinks and Thinks. And we've been invited to be one of their October presentations. And Melanie is going to be providing that program titled True Crime, Tales of Murder, Love, and Loss. This time of the year, we get lots of questions about, can you do ghost tours? Can you do haunted tours? And we will not do that. We do want to make sure all of our program is academic and at least has primary source documents that we can go back to. So when we get asked, will you do a ghost program? We turn to true crime because people love that as well. So that will be on October 22nd, just this week, at 7 p.m. at Arrow Cocktail Lounge. It is free and open to the public.
Be careful. No, drink.
You're right, you're right. We will put in a disclaimer as we're doing the introduction that evening.
Drink responsibly.
Yes, only good behavior. Then October 26th, the Pioneer Log Cabin is going to be closing for the season. So that'll be the last opportunity that the public can come out and tour that building. We will reopen in April, but that'll be on Sunday. I should have, oh, I guess I do have the time here, 2 to 5, always free admission at that site. And then we will be doing guided walking tours of Historic City Park on November 8th. That will be free and open to the public at noon. We'll be having our final fireside chat for the year on November 10th. To those who attend regularly, we usually do those the second Tuesday of each month, but because that's Veterans Day, we'll be doing it on the Monday. So November 10th is a Monday. We'll be exploring history through historical wargaming with David Janasic of MHK Tabletop. And then I already mentioned the annual membership meeting on November 18th. December 7th, we'll be doing another Humanities Kansas presentation. It'll be titled The Harvey Girls, Women's Roles in Railroad, Kansas, and U.S. History by Dr. Mickey Ray. That will be at the Manhattan Public Library Auditorium, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, free and open to the public. And then, I don't know if you've heard word yet, but we've been developing a board game at the museum. And it's kind of a mix between Oregon Trail, Monopoly, The Game of Life, and Candyland. And we introduced it at the History and Genealogy Fair in August. And we had people play it and give us some feedback. We want to open it up to a bigger audience. And so we're hosting a play test party for this new board game. It's called Progress and Peril on the Trail to Kansas. So that'll be December 13th, also at the Manhattan Public Library Auditorium, 10 a.m. to noon, and it's free and open to the public. And then December 20th, we'll have our holiday candlelight tour and open house at the Goodnoe State Historic Site. We have made the invitation open to the Historical Society to have the Wolf House or one of their other properties open that date as well, but we haven't heard confirmation from them yet. So that's 2 to 5, free and open to the public. That concludes my report. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you.
And so 25?
Person,
9:30.
9:30.
You feel me, so.
Anything else first? Staff.
Oh, not particularly.
Okay. I'll move the county commissioners, including Chairman McKinley, Vice Chair Folke, and Commissioner Ford, with Jacob Pouncin, County Councilor, Attorney for the Commission, Mary Wilkerson, County Attorney, recess into executive session pursuant to the non-elected personnel matters exception in Kansas Open Meetings Act in order to discuss the the performance of an employee and to protect the privacy of said employee. The open meeting to resume the county commission chamber at 9:30 a.m.
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded for the county commission to recess into executive session for the reasons previously stated and the performance matter of non-elected personnel exception that ends up meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Commissioners, your meeting is live.
Okay, make a motion that the Board of County Commissioners come out of executive session.
For the second one.
And moving second, out of executive session, all in favor?
Uh,
I also make a motion that the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with the consensus reached in executive session.
1 second.
And moving second, the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with consensus reached in executive session, all in favor?
Uh,
And I'm
It's
wondering
loading.
if Scott knows that we're here, not at the other location.
No, they get notified.
Okay.
Cindy sends an email.
Yeah, they get notified, and it's all we can do.
Behind to school list.
Well, that's not impossible to change with the board, especially this time of the morning. Construction's easing up a little bit, I've noticed. So maybe for Anderson, but that's gonna be for a while, you just can't work around.
Okay, there I'm going.
Morning, Commission. Evan McMillan, Public Works. This is public notice to let you know that we are going to start the asphalt work on Peterson Ranch Road. That's expected to start on October 27th. We've allotted it 20 working days, so weather permitting, we should be finished up by November 21st. That'll be on Thomas Weird and Thomas Weird Circle. Thank you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Overdue. I did not realize we had moved.
I was just saying that.
I'm now well educated on the matter. Good morning. Just a quick update, and probably the most important thing to share with you is status of government shutdown and how it's impacting our operations. And it is, but we're continuing to kind of press on. So NRCS staffing, Natural Resources Conservation Service, is down across the state a little over a third. So there's been some pressure applied from that naturally to maintaining projects, advancing the completion and design and all of the things that we do to get the conservation projects in the ground. In other parts of the state, that has had significantly more impact than here in our county. And there's a couple of reasons for that. First, some of the folks impacted by the NRCS firings, federal government layoffs, whatever you want to call them, we ended up picking one up. We had an open technician role funded through the Kansas Department of Agriculture. And luckily enough, we had an experienced NRCS technician that we were able to pick up. That has kept us advancing really uninterrupted on the design, layout, and project completion on the state cost share projects. We're helping out where we can on the federal cost share projects, but really nothing happens until someone can get into those federal systems and push the money forward. And that just simply is not happening right now with the shutdown. So as that resolves, I'm sure those will continue to move forward. We were out on project last week. We're heading back up. It's a little north and west of Leonardville, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week on a large terrace project, for example. Our customers have access to my personal cell number, and then we had created a Gmail email account that any customer trying to reach our district receives. And they can just contact me directly through that. We're not supposed to use the government equipment and computers, and definitely not the building and phones. But somehow, some way we check messages, even though we're not supposed to. Just a reminder that our next annual meeting is the first Thursday in February of 2026. And that is the February 5th. Doors at 6, dinner 6:30, meeting at 7 o'clock. Trying something a little bit new this year. We actually have 2 key bankers that are going to join together to help provide funding for the evening meal and to sponsor the Bankers Awards. And we've got some really great candidates that we're working with on a rangeland award and soil conservation. Well, Manhattan High didn't win the state conservation or state Envirothon, but gosh, they came close and really did a great job. St. John's Catholic ended up winning the state, just narrowly beating out Manhattan, and they did quite well at the Envirothon. It was up in Canada. And there's a training for schools, school leaders, team members that might be interested in trying this as something new in November up at the Konza Prairie, those buildings up there, training center. And we've reached out to some other Riley County schools to help encourage interest in that. We continue to use and have, frankly, high demand for our no-till seed drills. I've become more knowledgeable about this machine than I ever cared to. And if I'm working on a machine, you know something's going wrong. It's increased my level of respect and appreciation for farmers everywhere, because it's rarely just about the farming. It's about all the other things to do in order to farm. It's costing us quite a bit in repairs and maintenance. I think that's just part and parcel of it. But it is getting good use throughout the county. As a matter of fact, it spends a lot of time going from the north part of the county to south of town and being the last guy to drag it through Manhattan. We're probably going to have some conversations about maybe having a North County drill and a South County drill. Everyone with a mailbox on certain roads will appreciate that. We continue to do our educational thing. Nothing really new or different to share with you there, other than upstairs from you at the extension office. There's a couple new employees there, and sort of my peer, the extension agent in ag, Lindsay Shorter. We've met several times. We've got all sorts of things that we're able to work better on. And it's not to say we didn't have a good relationship with extension before. We did. But she's an absolute ball of energy, enthusiasm, especially on education, especially when it comes to serving our shared customers. So there's a lot of great things happening there. Cross advertising. I wrote cross selling. We don't really sell anything, but of our services, the information, the technical support, seamless handoffs. So that's been a lot of fun, and I think is going to serve us all well. Same type of state level cost share projects. Still stock water for grazing distribution is a big one, and terraces, waterways, and wells. This year, this fiscal year, which in the state runs July through June, last year, I'm proud to share, we had our highest dollar amount ever that we put into the ground through state cost share funds in Riley County, about $86,000 worth. And this year, it's about a third of that is what our allocation was. It's not because we did anything wrong. It's just the funding is way down. I don't know, where all those decisions are made and the trickle down from the Fed and all of that type of thing. But what I do know is we have every penny of that committed. I've got a waiting list of about 25 applicants on viable projects to get done in Riley County. Just submitted applications. to get additional funds once the State Department of Ag sweeps any uncommitted funds from other counties. So we're going to bring in every penny that we can and put it in the ground in Riley County. So strong interest in our cost share, funding's down. We'll see where that goes long term. I don't have dollars to report to you on the federal side. I don't get into those systems, and there's no one at NRCS able to work to get that. It's not really a hard stop. People that are doing projects are going to get them paid for. They've been committed. They're under a contract. There's just some delays in getting the paperwork processed. While we're open, continued heavy amount of interest in farmers and ranchers walking in the door and looking to do conservation planning. So again, our district, we continue to work as we're as available as we possibly can be. And one kind of new innovative thing that we're trying, one of our board members came up, launched this idea at a board meeting several months ago. And our county and several others really struggle with this invasive species, especially Sericea lespedeza and Old World bluestem. And it's just a bear to get rid of. So we piloted our own very small scale cost share program, chemical cost share program for those two species uniquely and with specific chemicals designed to attack those rather than just, pitching in for Roundup. And got the word out, met with chemical retailers, a lot of word of mouth, a little bit of advertising. And when people find out about it, they appreciate it because every little bit helps. But more importantly, I'll be reporting this back to the Kansas Department of Ag's Division of Conservation under the idea of what else can we do with this? Because this isn't a Riley County problem, it's a statewide problem. And maybe we can do bigger and better things to preserve and conserve our natural prairie. So more to come on that. The framework is any individual gets a maximum of $250, and it's based on the product and based on a per gallon or per ounce. And the small pot of money that we set aside is $2,500 for the year, calendar year. So trying our best to get things done at a grassroots level. That's it. That's my update for you. Thank you. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late again. A little scrambling there, but now I know my way around. How long will you be in here, do you think? Until you're told it's all clear?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard in February, but.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Any questions for me? Well, very, very good. Thanks for your time this morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rich Varga, Raleigh County Clerk. Just want to remind everyone advanced voting is currently going on for the city school districts, November 4th general election. Advanced voting is Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then on Friday, 7:30 to noon. The last Saturday prior to the election on November 1st, we will be open from 8 a.m. to noon for advanced voting. And then by state law, we have to close advanced voting that Monday, November 3rd at noon. I encourage everyone to go out there to the Riley County website, pull up their polling location. If they don't participate in the advanced voting process at 110 Courthouse Plaza, and also pull up your sample ballot. I think it's a good idea for people to know what objects they get to vote on each election prior to going to the polls. It just makes it a much more efficient process for them and for the poll workers. Any questions? So far, we have had 198 people participate in advanced voting. Thank you. On top of it, I got a fire meeting. They scheduled it. 50.
Well, let's say that.
Yeah.
What do you call the security lines?
No.
Are in, yeah. It's not.
So the county commissioner, Commissioner McKinley, Vice Chair Oki, Commissioner Ford, Jacob Hamilton, County Councilor, Attorney for the Commission, and Corey Meyer, IT Director, recessed into executive session to discuss matters related to security measures that protect the public body or agency. public building or facility or information system of a public body or agency which would be jeopardized if discussed in an open meeting. On exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act for the purpose of discussing information technology, security measures, the open meeting to resume in the county commission chamber at 10:10.
I will second that.
And moved and seconded for the county commission to recess into executive session for the reasons previously stated. And the security measures exception in the Kansas Open Meeting Act. All in favor?
Aye.
Commissioners, the meeting is live.
I'll move the Board of County Commissioners come out of executive session.
I'll second that.
And then in second, the board of county commissioners from out of executive session, all in favor?
Also move the record reflect action, so I'm taking consistent with the consensus reached in executive session.
I'll second that.
And moved and seconded, the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with the consensus reached in executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
You're up, Dave.
Sorry, sorry. Well, I thought that was a little quick, but I trust you. See,
Well, that's. Learned a lesson.
Alrighty. Good morning, Commissioners. Jacob Hanson, Riley County Councilor. Before you today, I have an amendments for the rules for public comment. This was asked by Commissioner Ford as we kind of wanted to create a little bit more transparency for the folks during public comment. And the specific change here is relatively minor, but it is an amendment to the first bullet point here where it says public comments shall be limited to no more than 3 minutes for each speaker. That was the original rule, but I've added a qualifier here at the end that says, or as otherwise determined by the chair of the Board of County Commissioners at the beginning of public comment. Just to make it very clear, if the board wants to extend that time for public comment, that you guys have the ability to do so, or I should say the chair has that individual ability to do so. And just so that way people know, and that way, maybe if you guys recognize there's a certain topic that deserves a little bit more time for public comment, you can go ahead and just announce that at the beginning of the public comment session that, hey, we're extending it out to 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, whichever you guys choose. And so that's the only change that's being made here. And the way to affect this change is, of course, by resolution. We're repealing a previous one, and then adding in the rules to that resolution. So any questions that you guys have as far as the rules go and why and the intent? No? All right.
I thought it was all.
Yeah.
That way as well, it's the dog there, and we've gotten into.
Yes.
Some areas where, yeah, but I just wanted to clarify, so that way. In the future, when that comes up, you know, that's an option, and we could say it is defined in policy by resolutions.
So we're not in compliance.
Correct.
Yeah, it should help that. Maybe a few less.
But at least on one subject, with, you know, example, we had the Saturday morning meeting for annexation. We wanted to go 5 minutes specific on that. We could do that and say that was a specific. That was a specific topic that we allowed that for, but we're not allowing it for everything, and it's defined because of what's in policy.
Right, and this will keep that baseline of 3 minutes. That's the presumption. Everything will be 3 minutes. And so with that, I just ask for a motion to execute that resolution.
So moved.
Been moved second to accept the amended resolution for public comment rules. All in favor?
Very good. And as far as administrative work session goes, I'll just bring up to you guys, I know, I think I may have mentioned it to you already, but I got notification that our case will be moving to the Supreme Court. There will be and this is the Prairie Wood case. There's a considerable amount of time between supplemental briefing and some responses, so we have another probably 60 days, give or take, before that period closes, and then we'll be notified maybe of scheduling at that point, which that may be a whole nother year, if not longer, before actual arguments are held. But wanted to let you guys know that was happening here. And I believe that covers everything, unless you guys have any specific questions on any projects I'm happy to go over. All right, thank you, Commissioners.
Yeah, I can say that.
I guess I can just tilt my head like this.
You're 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't adjust.
Well, no, it's hitting.
There we go. A little better if they break it.
I didn't do anything. I just did what you told me to, Rich.
I just have to go.
I took that as a request.
I didn't get a chance to respond.
Well, they've started unhooking power and such over at the old building today. So there is.
Okay.
Turning off the power, the power's off, so they're cutting the power and then they're gonna start cutting the water and the sewer and all of that, so. That is what they're doing. They were waiting on Shelley for this line. So the cars lined up, they had like, oh, we can't get there. Be there. Yeah, busy. I get in about 6, he was there about 6:15, there were cars waiting on him. So they're ready to work, so, but. Morning, Commissioners. David Adams, EMS Ambulance Director with my monthly update. Starting off, call volume, we had 457 calls in September, which is about average. I started to do some looking just out of my own curiosity. I think we're down about 3% on our call volume this year. I just got looking at that on Friday afternoon, and I need to delve into it and see where it's at. My guess is part of it's our out of town transfers, but I'm not 100% sure.
We
So
don't have the extra football game this year.
we don't have the extra football game as well. So, but you know, we've been going up 2 or 3% every year for the last several years, and so now it's kind of market correcting itself a little bit. But our income is we're right on budget where we expected it to be. So, but there'll be. It very well could be, as we had dealt last year with some of these people that we were seeing, you know, 2 or 3 times a day, every day for months. That's cut almost to nothing now. That very well may be something like that. I haven't looked at it in depth yet enough to kind of see kind of where that's at. So, but I will do so, and I'll have a better idea for you next month, certainly. Breakdown of call volume, really nothing out of the ordinary there. 183 at headquarters. Station 2 at 138, 31 at the Public Works, 35 still with that road construction shutting down. It's really limiting their ability and their call volume. Airport at 64, and Leonardville right on task, right on target at 31. As you recall, you've had a lot of conversations with Human Resources about some of these education programs for leadership, and we are certainly right in the middle of that. So Josh has started the NACO High Performance Academy, which is what I took about 5 years ago. He's 3 or 4 weeks into that and doing well. And then our supervisors, our captains are in their Highly Effective Managers program. They had their first kickoff class last Thursday. So they are all learning some things new. So I think I'm excited for them. I think this is exactly what organizations should be doing and such. So we are continuing to onboard new staff. I think we just have one left who's in orientation. He's doing very, very well. Came to us from Junction City Fire EMS and had a lot of experience. So really it's just getting him more as up to speed on how we do things, but he's getting checked off on all of the processes and things that we do. The new patient handler is actually going into the graphic shop today to get graphics either tonight or first thing in the morning. So when we get that back, maybe on Thursday, we'll have it outside there for you if you want to come by and see it. Completely different, like I said, than anything we've had before, because Polaris no longer makes the bodies for this. So, we've used it the last football games, and what we have done is we've had the staff who are assigned to that come in prior to the game, go through orientation with it, drive it, understand how it works. We have a cheat sheet on what's different with it than some of our other haulers, so that you know, going to the stadium and at the stadium is not the first time that they've seen this vehicle. So, but it's fantastic. I'm currently still participating in a work group on employee evaluations. There's 4 department heads and Elizabeth, maybe 3 of us, just trying to clean up that process. The questions are very good, but they can be very confusing for our staff and our supervisors. Some of them are kind of redundant. You could answer question, 1 the same as you would like number 4 type of things. We're trying to clean those up. So we're just about done. So we'll be able to push those out here real quick to the leadership and then to the employees. We're continuing to get out, Josh and Alex, especially running calls and observing our staff performance. And then we're preparing for basketball season. October 31st is our first standby at Bramlage. So updating our plans and such, and then we're gonna start rolling those out with education with the staff, reminding them of those things, getting equipment taken up to Bramlage. So a lot of times we may take it up to Bramlage for the game, then we have to pull it back, including cots and such, because we need them for a football game. So, or we just wheel them over and put them in one of the first aid rooms or something, but, we're getting ready. I mean, that's coming pretty quick. So, and then event standbys, we had 23, since the last time I've met with you. I had high school footballs, K-State football, K-State soccer, convocation, high school and middle school cross country, a marching fest at K-State. That was like a 10 or 12-hour standby. That's a long day for them. And then Wildcat Request Live was at Bramlage. So, you know, those keep us busy as well. So, then education, our biannual credentialing has started. This is the first year, we've been doing it for years. This is the first year it's actually state law that everybody has to do it. So, which didn't really change anything for us. You know, the Board of EMS, which I'm a part of, you know, put out our thoughts, and we're above and beyond. You know, we've partnered with, you know, Johnson County and with Hutchinson and Butler County to see how others do it over the last 4 or 5 years. We've all basically have the same programs. So, that's going well. Continuing with our cardiac response guidelines with that new program with Via Christi Manhattan and KU Med Topeka. There's been, anytime you roll something out, there's always hiccups on one side or the other, but we're working through them. It's been positive. We've made some changes on both ends, and we're getting the patients where they need to be in a timely manner, you know, so they can get the care that they need. So, you know, the protocol book, something Alex has been working on for a couple of years. He gave Josh and I a pretty good preview because he had a couple questions on some formatting. It's fantastic. I'm really excited for him. He's hoping to have the vast majority of it rolled out to our staff the end of the year, if not first quarter of next year. We've got to get through credentialing and some of those things. But when he does, I'll bring it in and I'll show you examples of it. But it's putting a tremendous amount of work, and I hadn't seen it too much, but what he showed us and the different things that he talked through and such, it's fantastic. Huge change for our department. So I'm looking forward to that. And then he has an advanced medical life support class actually tomorrow and the next day. I'll be participating in it in the class tomorrow. I won't be able to on Wednesday, but I'll get the first half, and then the next time he has a class next year, I'll get the second half. So, and then community outreach, continuing with the car seat check lanes. We participated in Purple Power Play, National Night Out in Ogden, and then the honoring local heroes event at Riley County Fire Station in Riley. So that's another event that we're gonna be a part of. So, and then I didn't put it on here because I didn't think about it, but you know, we'll have trunk or treat, you know, in West Loop with all the other emergency services. We'll be a part of that where kids could come see our equipment, see our vehicles, meet our staff and such. So that's coming up as well. Do you have any questions about that? And then it just attached is the stats. Again, as always, nothing new. You know, Friday night, Saturday's busy. Monday and Tuesday when people are trying to get back to work, but they're ill. So nothing surprised me there. So especially on Saturdays, game days, had a couple of those, and then it's been nice weather and for people to be out and about. And then and then breakdown of the times of the calls. You know, 21 calls, you know, at midnight. So really starts to pick up and down throughout the day, you know. So some of these numbers are a little misleading because of the games. You know, at 6 o'clock, you know, we have 27 calls last month. You know, that's probably because of game day, you know, in one form or fashion. So I think we had a 6 o'clock kickoff one time and such. So a little misleading with that, but we have to take that into account. Breakdown of top 5 responses. Transfers fell last month. Usually they're a little higher than that. So, But we don't do transfers during games, during football games. So I know there was several that they had to have a transfer service come in and take them because we just can't put that resource out when we have everything else going on. So do you have any questions for me? All right, thank you.
There we go.
Probably tax that they had to write for the month. I got educated by a beautiful guy, oh. With the county commissioners, including Chairman McKinley, Vice Chair Oki, Commissioner Ford, with Jacob Hansen, County Councilor, and Amanda Webb, Planning and Development Director, recess into executive session pursuant to the attorney-client consultation exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act regarding confidential legal advice on sewer benefit districts, and the open meeting to resume in the county commission chamber at 10:50 a.m.
I would second that.
And move and second for the county commission to recess into executive session. For the reasons previously stated under the attorney-client consultation exception to the Kansas Open Meeting Act. All in favor?
But commissioners, the meeting is live.
I'll move the Board of County Commissioners to have an executive session.
For a second.
Moved and seconded, the Board of County Commissioners to out of executive session, all in favor? Aye.
Also, move the record reflect action shall be taken consistent. Excuse me, with the consensus reached in executive session.
For a second.
So moved and seconded, the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with the consensus reached in the executive session, all in favor?
Aye.
You need to go into public health.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Make the motion that says. Board of County Commissioner reconvene in the Warren County Health.
For a second.
Moved and seconded, as he says, the Board of County Commission meetings, the Board of Health, all in favor?
Morning, Commissioners, Diane Creek, Health Director. I am here to report on, give you an update on WIC. Finally have some good news. It's relative good news. We're going to receive $99,550 from the state WIC office for October salaries. That is gonna leave us about $30,000 short for the month of October because there's 3 pay periods. But we can cover that, so we're okay for October. As of right now, the state WIC office is evaluating how they can use some funding that they're receiving from the federal government for November services. They're getting some money for the food part of the program and for the salary part. So there will be more information to come with that. On the other news that we've got, Kaylin received a text last Thursday that said that we needed to be out of IAC as of tomorrow. It would be our last working day in IAC tomorrow. We had planned to move out the end of November, but for some reason, you know, they've got a lot of moving parts over there, so they moved it up to tomorrow. So we thought about, you know, whether to kind of try to enforce our agreement with them or whether to just go ahead and move out, and we decided just to go ahead and move. I think it's in our best interest to move over to building 210, get staff settled, get everybody in the right place, in some place that's going to be semi-permanent. So I want to give a shout out to Corey with IT because he did an awesome job. He wasn't scheduled to go over to Fort Riley for weeks. But he's over there, or his staff is over there this morning, and they're connecting our IT and our phones. So we're getting that done today. Also, Vivian has been stellar. She's done a really, really good job at changing all of our handouts, our flyers, social media posts, all of that, because we need to let people know. So it's been kind of, everything has been a rush. And I also personally, I want to give a huge shout out to Kaylin and her staff because they have been absolutely awesome. Even the Fort Riley staff, the staff here are holding everything together here. The people over at Fort Riley, they're helping clean, they've helped paint. They've had really good attitudes. Everything has been just really awesome with them. So they've been tremendously helpful. Kaylin has done an awesome job. Just as a little footnote, she will make you a good health director someday. So, that would be my goal. So WIC at Fort Riley, IAC is open today, but today will be the last day. Tomorrow, they're gonna move over to building 210. This week, they're going to do all of the appointments by phone. so that we don't have to worry about people coming in or, offices being not quite set up. So they're gonna do everything by phone this week, and then services will resume as usual next week. We're gonna post updates on social media and our website. So if anybody has any questions, they can just watch our social media and the website for updates. So anybody have any questions?
See, building fully open, the shutdown and all that.
I don't think it's fully open. There's departments. So Building 210 has a lot of different programs in it. And so there's different programs that have been shut down because of the shutdown.
We've got some good staff now.
But there are some that they're continuing to work. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and we've got keys, and so yeah, they've been awesome to work with. Yeah, they'll be okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I would, this is not so much a question, this is a
Suggestion?
recommendation / advice.
Mhm.
On our end, I would start planning for at least the second or third week in November.
Okay,
Or certain things in place that are gonna make this shutdown last past the first of the month.
okay,
And just bureaucracy and red tape past it is gonna push that. This one's gonna be for the long stuff.
okay,
There's some things on the surface and there's some things behind the surface that are playing out at this point in time. So even though I know the state's working on some things and there'll be some money for programming and maybe some money for personnel. I think we need to be planning and budgeting if we want to plan on keeping the service that those been
okay,
at least in that.
okay. Yeah. And I think Kaylin was working on a plan, in case all of the money stops, that we would present to you. It's not cheap at all, not at all. The food part of it is pretty tough. We've had some meetings with Breadbasket and some other community partners, because we're all in the same boat. I mean, they're all, Breadbasket is serving a lot of people, and so,
Certainly a lot more military.
yeah,
This is supposed to.
just makes it worse.
Full serve, I think is what it really is, it's not really knocking a dent in anything, but if we want to at least whole serve.
Yeah,
You're gonna need to be planning for the second, maybe even all the way out to the Thanksgiving week.
okay. I think what we've done too is we have stopped all spending except for salaries. So, basically what we're spending now is money for salaries, so the rest of it can just wait. So. So that's it.
Let's hope for the best, but plan for the worst.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do that. I will do that. Anything else? But we are getting 99,000 for this month, so that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. So. I love it that you guys are here. I mean, this is so nice for me. So a totally selfish reason, but it's so nice for me. I love it. Thank you.
The new and second at recess of the board of health and meetings of the board of commission.
Thank you for having me, and I hope Cindy printed that because I realized when I got here, I have my letter from my board, not you guys. Thank you guys for your continued support the last couple of years. We were awarded a big 13-passenger bus this year, and we're trying to get a minivan this year because our minivans are getting old and need to be transitioned out. We have taken a few trips and our elders have just absolutely enjoyed that bus they're like, I can see, and you know, the chitter chatter has been refreshing, but wanted to thank you guys again. And the Board of the KDOT pays 80% and then we pay 20% of the bus, and it would be the same for the minivan. So I just hope you'll continue to support us.
What's the time frame on actually purchasing and receiving this?
So we have to apply, and it's due in November on the 20th, and then they award it in the spring. That we find out if we get it, and it could be next fall when we actually get the van, or it could be the spring after. We got lucky because somebody backed out on the bus, and so we were able to get our bus sooner than what we thought. So. Which reminds me, I have to pay tags and taxes on that soon.
Been moved and seconded to approve a letter of support for the grant application for Glenville nursing home. All in favor? Aye. Please sign.
And I hope that, like you, I hope that this cut down as quickly. I have a daughter that's a government worker, so.
Place to be right now.
No, George for the FSA, probably. Yeah. When you have to pay daycare.
That's.
I can probably.
Thank you.
Help us out. Oh my God, we can't park there.
You're busy.
I know. Keeps you awake, right? Hopefully. Get my steps in. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
You want one of these others?
yes, please. Kind of have to. You appreciate it. You guys have a good day.
You
too.
Um,
10 minutes.
10 minutes, yes.
I would, want me to make the motion,
Yeah, that's 11:05.
11:15 of them.
11:05, you got a minute.
What will be?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think it's not as big a packet, it's only about this.
It's only
right?
8 pages. Good. You still get that over 100.
Yeah.
Yes.
All necessary. Sit back at the city chambers.
And I would make a motion for county commissioners, including Sharon Kelly, Vice Chair Buggy, and Commissioner Ford, and Chair Hanson, County Councilor, recess into executive session pursuant to the attorney-client consultation exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act. regarding confidential legal advice and the open meeting to resume in the county commission chamber at 11:13 p.m.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the county commission to recess into executive session for reasons previously stated under the attorney-client consultation exception to the Kansas Open Meeting Act. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, commissioners, you're live.
I move that the Board of County Commissioners come out of the executive session.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded, the Board of County Commissioners come out of executive session, all in favor?
I also move the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with the consensus reached in executive session.
Oh, second, sorry. I'll eventually get there.
Moved and seconded, the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with the consensus reached in executive session. All in favor?
Well, that's for me, I think. I don't have anything else yet, they're still trying to kick out back up, so.
And I will. I will make a motion to adjourn the October 20th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn the October 20th meeting of the Raleigh County Commission, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.